Yeah.
Oh, so
now we're muted.
we're not quite ready. Call this to order at 7:03 p.m. The June meeting, regular meeting of Church Borough. We can start with a roll call.
So tonight, Matt City here, Ellie Renthaler
Here. Here.
Rochelle Williams here,
Here.
Adam McDowell here, Diane Long
Here.
Adam McDowell here. Not sure who's taking all of it. Paul Camera
Here. Picking up a reverb.
sure here. Correct.
Is everybody muted? I don't think it's coming. Maybe your direction, if you will. Have you gone through everybody's roll call, by the way? And I'm here too.
Yes.
Just making sure that I was here. Sometimes it just feels like it's a dream. Okay, we should even sort that reverb, but if we can stand for the pledge of allegiance. Stand if you're able. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. Okay, see if we can sort through. We've got a little bit of a technical kind of mic reverb going on right now. It's like a 7-second delay to make sure that if I say something inappropriate, I suppose I can.
Yes, we see.
I feel like Gavin has that to control me right now. Maybe Matt based off his prior comments. I'll take either one. So I'd like to push forward into public comment. I think we want to get this kind of sorted if we can, but because it's going to be very distracting for folks. And then as soon as we're able to do that, we'll jump right into public comment. What do we think we got here?
When we have public, we're gonna have to unmute because that's the speaker in the room. In other words, when someone's addressing you from out there, I'll have to unmute.
Got it.
Right now, it's the only thing I can think of.
Well, we will sort our way through it. You know, each new technology is each new challenge simultaneously, right?
Just keep looking.
That's not a problem. I trust you more than I trust myself in this space, so no worries at all. So we will jump into public comment. I'm going to start in the room first, and then we'll go online second. If you have comments, please stand if you're able. I see you. Stand if you're able. If you'd like, state your name and your address.
I don't have anything to say. No.
All right, that clears the in-room comments.
Yeah, thanks for doing a good job. Thank you.
We appreciate it. We'll move to online. If anybody online would like to comment, please raise your hand. There's at the bottom there the ability to raise your hand. We will call you. Please state your name, your address. You have 3 minutes to speak your mind, assuming that you are a Churchill resident or taxpayer. Give a couple seconds to see if I have some hands raised. If your hand is raised, we'll promote you and move forward. See anybody I'm missing?
Do you want to allow the person? I'm not sure there's one.
And we'll do phone after I go through everybody else. Yep. All right, seeing no hands raised, there was one call-in phone. If you called in, you're listed as call-in user 1 to us. But if you called in and would like to comment, you can unmute yourself now, and we'll give you the opportunity to make your comment. I'd like to give a couple extra seconds because I know sometimes technology, as you heard from us, is not even our friend, let alone yours. So give an extra minute, extra second, whatever it might be. Okay, hearing none, we're going to close public comment then and move forward through the agenda. I still appreciate everybody coming today. It appears we have 13 attendees, along with those of us who are, some of us who are listed as panelists. That being the case, we'll move on to our ordinary items, starting with number 3.
Mr. President, I move to accept the meeting minutes from the Monday, May 2nd, 2022 Borough Council Workshop Meeting and Monday, May 9, 2022 Regular Council Meeting.
Second.
Thank you, and our regular second captain over there. Thank you very much. Is there any discussion on the matter of the minutes? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
I see your mouth move in the I form, Brooke, I got you there. Any opposition? Hearing none, minutes are accepted without opposition. This moves us on to the mayor's report. Mr. Mayor, I'm sure you'd like to give a few comments before any motion.
Mr. President, I will. As reported, Mayor wishes to inform council there were no unusual events or no serious crimes during the month of May 2022. Our officers responded to 1,127 calls for service, making it 5,379 calls year to date, resulting in 2 arrests. Chief Ronald Rackley has reported the total amount of magisterial fines collected for the month of May 2022 was $925.58. The total for year 2022 is $2,779.89. Department's 4 police vehicles logged 5,168 miles in the past month. 2004 Ford Taurus sedan is currently out of service. Chief is currently awaiting the availability of the Ford Eco Booster Interceptor to replace the out of service Ford Taurus sedan. This will keep our total fleet to 5 vehicles. Ticket summary for the month of May 2022 was 59. There were 12 parking tickets and 47 traffic tickets issued. The chief reminds us with the summer months just ahead and recent temperatures in the 90s, residents should be mindful of their pets. Never leave a pet unattended in a motor vehicle for any length of time, as temperatures can quickly reach lethal levels in just minutes, even with the windows partially open. It's best to leave the pets at home on hot days when you know you'll be required to leave them unattended in your vehicle while shopping. Also, do not leave your pets outdoors for extended periods of time, and be sure they have plenty of water and enclosure to escape the sun and elements. Tethering of dogs, which is the chaining or leashing of an animal to a fixed object or ground state, is strongly deterred, even when it becomes a criminal act. Excuse me, if the animal is tethered for more than 9 hours a day. The chief would also remind residents to please ensure that your street and house numbers are clearly visible and marked on your home and or mailbox, and that they are displayed in a conspicuous location easily visible to police and first responders. This is critical, especially at night. Details and other related statistics concerning the police department during the month of May 2022 are reported on the attached police department reports. Thank you.
Thank you. This time I entertain a motion to accept the mayor's report.
Moved.
Second.
He is quick. Is there any discussion on this? Other than to say that I agree with all the points made. I have a 140-pound dog that in this weather makes it about 5 minutes outside. He and I have the same kind of reaction to the weather. So I always know if it's too hot, it's too hot. So definitely don't leave your dogs out. And I do need to I got a new mailbox to put my numbers. So
Yeah, just another comment on that mailbox. I was on yesterday around the door. And even if you have that little wee thing up by the door, it's really hard to see.
Yeah.
We have certain size numbers. Matt had said something odd.
4 inch minimum is what's required.
I think we need to really look into something like that.
excellent. Thank you. Any other discussion on the mayor's report? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And the report is accepted without opposition. This moves us on to number 6. And actually 5 and 6 together. So.
Mr. President, I move to accept the treasurer's report for the month ending May 31st, 2022, and move to direct the finance officer to pay the bills for the Borough of Churchill accrued since May 9th, 2022.
Second.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? As always, when we have the paying of the bills, I do read any bills over the amount of 15,000, even though they're all there for you to read, just for the sake to make sure that they're pointed out and everyone knows kind of any big expenditures for the month. This year, it would appear we have 5, beginning with Alcosan in the amount of $188,857.64 for port and sewage. Gateway Engineers in the amount of $40,410.50. And that is for the May invoice. Then we've got Bigliotti Landscape Construction, the amount of $19,795.46. Again, this is for our May services with them in terms of road maintenance, animals, all that they do. State Pipe Services, in the amount of $19,264.79. This is sanitary and storm sewer, televising and cleaning, along with the MRM Trust, the Workers' Comp Fund. That's for the admin, for DPW and police, in the amount of $15,842.58. There are other bills that are listed from $5,000 to $10,000 for everyone's viewing. But that is my comment. Is there any other discussion on the matter of paying the bills or the treasurer's reports? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And the bills will be paid. The report is accepted without opposition. This moves us on to number 7.
Mr. President, pursuant to Churchill Borough Code, Chapter 52, Human Relations Commission, I move to approve Resolution 4541 of the Borough of Churchill, Allegheny County, Pennsylvania, to appoint 5 persons with the stated terms as members of the Borough of Churchill Human Relations Commission. Ms. Cindy Haig for a 1-year term, Ms. Mary Kay Fiore for a 1-year term, Dr. Cheryl Maccabee for a 2-year term, Dr. Nancy Fair for a 2-year term, and Dr. Rosalie Smiley for a 3-year term.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? I will just say, first of all, I would offer my thank you to all of them. As I say to anyone who's willing to volunteer for our borough, start with the idea that there's a sucker born every minute, ourselves included, but also in seriousness, how important it is that we have people who are willing to serve. I would also point out that the first appointment is to be staggered. So you see there's a 1-year term for 2 people, a 2-year term, and a 3-year term. Upon reappointment, those would all be a 3-year term so that we don't have everybody coming off at the same time, just like we don't have everybody coming on. It's why we have everyone coming on at the same time, I should say. So it would be my expectation that Ms. Hay and Ms. Roy, that in a year from now, there would be a reappointment should they choose to continue to serve, which I certainly hope they would, for that 3-year term. That is my comment. Any other comment or discussion regarding, I have probably 2 other comments, but I'll wait and see if anybody says.
I have a question regarding the term that starts today.
No, good point. The term will start as of July 1st. Thank you. That's the thing when somebody asks you a question that you're supposed to already have said, but they're just trying to help you out, be kind about it. So thank you. But it will start July 1st so that it starts on a regular calendar. Thank you very much. Any other discussion on the matter?
So just to follow up, the rest of our commissions and stuff run kind of calendar year to calendar year. Are we going to adjust that?
We probably will adjust that, but for the existing, you get it up and going, it'll run right now, starting July. The next appointment, I would think we would kind of roll it till extended on the regular kind of calendar year, so coincides with everyone else, and quite frankly, coincides with new councils coming on board, that they'll have sustained control in those spaces.
I have a question. Is there a chair of the Human Relations Commission?
So ultimately, that's up to the Human Relations Commission to determine their chair. We don't determine who their chair is for. Any others?
I have a question. Do I need to make a motion, or is it possible for the solicitor to read the establishment of the Human Relations Commission? I think it would provide clarity for all of the council members as far as the questions related to the chair, the terms, and the makeup of the commission.
So you're asking for the full ordinance to be read?
I'm asking for the solicitor to read 52-5, Section B.
So what I would, you want to click on that and bring it up. If you have it in front of you, Brooke, if you'd like to read it, that's fine. Otherwise, we'll have to bring it up.
I got it.
You got it?
If you want me to.
He's got it. Go through.
So you want me to read A through D? Section B.
Section B.
For you to read section,
Just B.
correct.
Churchill Human Relations Commission shall consist of no fewer than 3 and no more than 5 members who shall serve overlapping terms of 3 years each. There shall be an odd number of members, although the commission may continue to operate with an even number of members pending appointment of new members if necessary. All members of the commission shall be appointed by the Borough Council. Commission may elect up to 3 non-voting ex officio members to broaden the diversity that serves on the commission. Members shall be residents of the borough or individuals who work full-time within Churchill Borough. No voting member of the Churchill Human Relations Commission shall hold any office in any political party. Members of the Churchill Human Relations Commission shall serve without salary, but may be paid expenses incurred in the performance of their duties as approved by the Borough Council. Paid staff may be hired as approved by the Borough Council to assist in the performance of the duties of the commission. And then the item about the chairperson is next. So would you like me to continue?
Please. Yes.
Subsection C of 52-5 says, one of the commission's members shall be appointed as the chairperson of the commission by the members of the commission. Chairperson shall be responsible for setting commission meetings, coordinating with the Churchill Borough Secretary regarding received complaints and answers, and generally ensuring that the duties of the commission are fulfilled. The chairperson may delegate responsibility for commission duties to specific commissioners or to paid staff if applicable.
All right. Thank you.
Any other discussion on the matter? My last point before bringing this to vote, I would just point out again that this was something that was brought back when Ray Jurwitz and myself were running council. And I'm very proud that we have reached the point of actually getting it established. You know, that Ray brought this specifically where he was coming from was to ensure that it's relevant in June, as June is Pride Month, because Ray's purpose in this, while I have a lot of other purposes, his specific purpose was to ensure that members of the GLBTQ plus community understand that we in Churchill welcome people here of all ilks. And so, again, I'm just happy that we've reached this space, and that we've done it in a way that that honors some of our prior council. Is there any other comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And so the motion carries. Congratulations to all 5 of them. I know that they will do a wonderful job, and I will follow up with them because I'm excited for this. This moves us forward to number 8. Like number 8, since I said number 4. I need to take her. You said that you wanted for 4, so. You.
You can.
I'll tell you.
Mr. President, I move to approve resolution 4542 of the Borough of Churchill, Allegheny County, Pennsylvania, approving an intergovernmental cooperation agreement by and among Eastern Allegheny Traffic Safety Alliance pursuant to the Intergovernmental Cooperation Act, 53 PACS 2301, I'm not going to go through all that, to provide mutual police aid and assistance in an effort to enforce better the DUI task enforcement program in each participating municipality. That's a mouthful.
That was.
Second.
And therein lies the beauty of being the second, right? You only say second. Having said that, is there any discussion? Again, there's a brief kind of description of the purpose of this. We had some conversation about this prior.
I think the chief is here, he might be best to answer this.
Sure. I mean, it's just to formalize and legitimize our department's participation in the East Hills Traffic Alliance for the purposes that were displayed there. The DUI roving patrols, buckle up program, pedestrian safety and aggressive driver. This is our department's first year as part of the program, and to this point, we had our last DUI roving patrol on Friday, and had a couple of arrests, recovered a stolen car, and we have an actual static checkpoint that we do as a collaborative effort is coming up this Friday. I know in Plum, but we've been very successful with it so far, and we're proud to be part of the program this year. Excellent. Thanks.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Okay, hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries without opposition. This moves us on to number 9.
Mr. President, I would make a motion to approve an agreement subject to the approval of the borough manager and solicitor as to the form of the agreement with Zero Commute Architecture to prepare drawings and bid packets for a new female locker room and ADA restrooms outside council chambers. The Zero Commute Architecture cost is $12,650. In addition, the borough applied for grant funding from the Allegheny County Community Development Block Grant, program for $255,000 to hopefully complete this future work.
Excellent.
Second.
She sounds slow, the seconds are, when it's not you. Excellent, thank you. Any discussion on the matter?
I have a quick question. What's the timeline for that grant application? When might we know about whether that's awarded?
Fantastic question, because the answer is a month ago. Due to ongoing delays, we've been basically asking weekly. Do you have any other update on that, Alex, or we're still just in a holding pattern?
I don't know if you heard back today at all.
So I have a call scheduled with Lance, so he just sent his folks over to me, so I'm gonna try and do it before the end of the week. We had a kind of email back and forth. He immediately said, let's set up our call. So I assume that when I get off that call, I will have an answer by week's end. Any other discussion on the matter? Great question, Adam.
I would just add for, the discussion, I mean, this is part of an ongoing project that started months ago, with that feasibility study that we originally approved, just to see what we could do where, and this is the next step that we need to take to, have the drawings ready and then figuring out kind of where we come in. And once we have those final design drawings, we can get better pricing, actual get contractor bids so we can nail down where we're going to go. And, hopefully we have grant funding. If not, we'll figure out, what the other next step is.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that. I would just point out that this particular issue, both of these are issues about kind of fairness, equity, and obligation. And we have an obligation to make sure that we're providing this both in the ADA space as a legal obligation, but also just as a kind of who we are as a community. Again, going back to the HRC and everything else, we're the kind of community that, says, hey, by obligation, you can change upstairs, it's all good, whatever. But by fairness and who we are, we make sure that we supply and provide for all of our people equally. So I'm glad that we are moving forward expeditiously. And, on the grant side, we can only go at the speed at the rate they go, but we will find our way to completion. So I appreciate your work and I appreciate everybody's work on the matter. Any other discussion on the matter? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And it goes forward then without opposition. This moves us on discussion items. I'm going to start with our friendly neighborhood engineer, if you will. He's still around unless we have lost him somehow. What do we got? Anything on the table?
Just a couple of quick things. We did have the pre-construction meeting last week for the paving program. That work is expected to be performed in July. The sewer projects are all well underway, and the storm sewer repairs that were initially provided to the contractor are primarily complete. There's one repair that we're awaiting for additional alternatives to complete. And we assisted in the last month or in May to prepare and submit the Active Allegheny and Walkworks grants. Those applications were for trail systems or to better establish travel throughout the borough. And sanitary sewer consent order requirements, as part of that, flow monitoring and flow isolation is being performed. That's the eye tracker system. I don't know if anybody's seen them out. Duke's has been out setting those up within the sewers. That work is expected to be completed at the end of this month.
Excellent. Thank you, sir.
I would just comment, just so you're aware, Dennis, because I know you don't see our binders that go out to the council folks, but Alex put all that information about that system and kind of why we're doing that in the council binders. So, everyone should have had a chance to review it. And I found it particularly interesting that, we can do that, shooting lasers down into water and pipes. It's pretty neat. So.
I also saw probably not as pretty neat as you see it.
Right.
But that is why we are in the positions that-
Well, and on the flip side too, I know how much it costs if you have to put like flow meters and stuff in, and this is, also innovative, but also saves us some money, so.
Awesome.
Checks a lot of boxes.
I like it. I like it. Thank you both. Chief, any comments outside the report itself?
I do not, thank you.
I appreciate you being here, sir.
Thanks.
For me, I just want to have Allison maybe turn on her camera here in a second. We have Allison with us. Allison Lynch is our intern this year. She's from Carnegie Mellon University. And we're delighted that she's here. She's a real trooper because she's having a tough health day today, but she promised to be with us tonight. So let's see. Allison, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Allison, like Alex said, and I'm really enjoying my time in the borough so far. I am a public policy student at CMU in between my first and second years.
Primarily, first couple weeks you've been with us, what have you been working on?
So I have been working on looking at historical budget data, which has been really fascinating. And kind of digging into that. So hopefully I'll have some graphs and such with that soon.
Thank you.
In fairness and disclosure, my chance of meeting Alice in person was behind piles and piles of maps. Maps upon maps upon maps. Alex, very excited by maps, right? Everybody else excited by maps. It was a pleasure to meet her. I think she's a wonderful person, a great addition here. So glad to have you.
Yeah, I would say it's been a pleasure. I had a chance to stop by the office and meet Allison as well. And so far, seems like a great young lady, and appreciate all the work she's doing for the borough, and glad to have her on board.
I met her as well, and Allison, you're very impressive with your background, and I'm thrilled to have you here.
You're a happy crew. Happy crew. Michelle, anything on the comments we need to know?
I have nothing to report besides the report that was presented to you.
That's all I need. Thank you. Moving through, just make sure I cover everybody before we can roll last comments on committees and council. Mr. Solicitor.
No report, Mr. President.
Thank you. Thank you. I think that covers the staff here today. That brings us any comments, concerns, questions, oral or coming up with reports regarding council committee.
I have a question. The past chic, am I saying that correctly? There was a email sent out about a potential proposal. Did we discuss that already? Are we going to discuss that, or when are we going to discuss it?
So it's not being discussed at this time, not on the agenda, not something that anyone's discussing.
Okay, all right.
My only comment is I talked to Jay Costa this morning, discussed again the state of the multimodal fund in relation to any park. That is pretty locked down as long as we do our parts, so that we will be able to build the park that I've been speaking of for since my daughter came here and said I want a park, right? Representing every kid on my block. And so that will move forward effectively right now, because we don't have any kind of formal land swap. We can still put in for it with the understanding that we can put it under the land we own and then switch it at any time is what it looks like. So essentially the proposal for the park and anything would be right now over at Bullock's. And then if we land swap or if we move it to a different location, we're able to do that and maintain access to the funds. I would just point out again that Senator Costa has been a friend to Churchill. He continues to be a friend to Churchill, very frankly, and really always has showed our best interest, even when we're talking about some of our neighbors. So I'm very appreciative of his work and his help in that matter. And you heard already, I have a discussion with Lance coming up to, and hopefully get some answers on that. So that's my only comments. I don't know if anybody else has any other comments either on report or any other comments they want to make before we look to adjourn.
They're just, public safety is meeting Thursday. And that's why we don't have a report tonight in your binder because we haven't met yet. So we're kind of a month off, but we're at it, so.
Also, the rec board is meeting on Thursday. And to move forward with our Sunday Fun Day, which is our working title right now for September 25th. So we're moving along and it's going well.
The communications committee, we're trying to schedule for us to meet. That's why there is no report in there.
The floor is always yours, Joe. I hold a spot for you.
Just one more comment about police department. Comments I got the other day, I was running around the borough, visiting the new residents, and a couple of residents I ran into, one of the comments was when they see the police officers, how friendly they are, and waving and saying hello. That really, makes you feel good, but, you really just driving by, they're saying hello. But that was a good comments that were coming out. The other thing comment was, I recently was away for the weekend, told the chief I'd be going on that, and any resident in the borough could do it. Sign up and tell, you're on vacation, police officer will come and check your house. And, sure enough, I'm away, and my next doorbell cam picks up someone's at my front door, and Officer Sage is at the front door, checking to make sure it's, the doors are locked. So that's a good thing for residents to keep in mind. If you go on vacation, you feel the need to have, just let the department know you're on vacation, the officers come by, check the doors, make sure everything's okay. So
That's outstanding.
it's another nice thing we have to
Yeah,
like.
just to piggyback off that, there aren't too many people who don't have Ring or that similar technology these days, but just keep in mind, there's multiple access points to your home that aren't covered by the Ring.
Right.
So that's why we continue to do that, because, checking the perimeter of the house outside of what your camera, because burglars know that too. So,
Sure.
there's a lot of times where they enter from an inconspicuous spot that a Ring can pick up. Yeah, residents can call and always let us know. And we'll check.
And after we left, I thought, can I lock my truck?
If there's anything,
I'm gonna
don't
call
get
it cheats.
Remind all the residents, please lock your doors. Just another reminder to everybody. If you're gonna we're not a smash and grab space all the time, but if you leave your door unlocked, sure enough, some kid will come through. So, just a secondary reminder. Any other comments from folks?
No, I would just say on infrastructure, I mean, we've got 3 ordinances going right now. So make sure, just make sure that stuff's in the binder. I know it's a lot, but try to skim through it because some of those, especially like the 5G ordinance, we're going to get that rolling here now. We finally got that. So that way, when we get to the discussion with council and we're ready to present the recommendations, I believe we'll be moving forward on all 3. So take a look at the information when you have a minute.
Appreciate the work. Adam, any comments from home?
Just a reminder to all the committee chairs that the Finance Committee has asked for any capital expenditures to be requested by the end of the month, so June 30th. So if you could send this to me and Alex and copy Michelle so that we all have a copy of that, so that the Finance Committee can take a look at that in next month's meeting.
Excellent. Brooke?
I have no comment today. It's a beautiful day. Thank you for joining us this evening, and have a good evening.
Then, as I always say, what keeps us from going home is me. One last comment, and I'm out the door. And that is that the Woodland Hills Youth Soccer Association, that I so proudly coached the last 15 years now. We head up to Erie, Pennsylvania for one more tournament. This is from basically U10, so 9 and 10-year-olds up to 19-year-olds. The whole crew is on our way up, and I wish them all luck, especially this U10 team with this really mean goalkeeper. Got to learn respect and all kinds of things. But yes, that is it. Outside of that, I thank everybody for joining us and those who will watch later. At this time, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
There's his first one.
Second.
All righty. Game, set, match. Thank you all for coming out. We will see you later. Take care.
Goodbye, all.